as we say, is history. So, I like to do my asanas for 1 minute and just sort of clear. I'm certainly not a yoga teacher at all. I'm a guy approaching 70 years old who finds it very necessary to do usually an hour of asana every day, just to keep this body functioning, because I travel so much and have to sit for long periods of time. And I had my lovely yoga teachers, Eve Oberlin, Gabriella, Devin Warren, and they have voices that come in my ears as I'm doing the asana, so I can hear Eve telling me, lift up your instep, I guess we would call it, inner arch of the foot, and because it's very precise, so it has the least chance of injury. What I'm focusing on right now is lifting my knees, lifting my arches. Oh, it's painful. Working my lower back. And I like the chanting going on, keeps my mind focused on Nada Brahma, on sound God. Okay.
So you got the time that helps out, huh?
Yeah, I think 1 minute is good time for me to do each asana. This next one was shown to me by Ramanand Patel, and it's very good for the shoulders, but you have to really get your forehead and the nose against the wall. Keep slightly moving the fingers, stretching upward, while the heels are pushed down. You kind of push the kidneys down towards the floor. A lot of yoga is visualization. Sometimes you have very powerful visualization to move the body a very slight fraction of an inch. Make a variation. I think as you get older, it's important to be able to pivot the head, because that joint, the atlas, the top of the spine, where it connects to the head, gets stiff. So I try and keep one ear against the wall for a minute. I'm seeing inwardly my head turning, energy flowing from the tips of my fingers to my feet, from the feet to the tips of my fingers. And I do the other side. I don't do the same asanas every day. I vary them quite a bit. I also like to repeat. Do one asana 2 or 3 or even 4 times. And also I really work each asana, each posture. I don't just kind of lazily go into it. But for that 1 minute, that's another reason I use the timer. For that 1 minute, I really focus my energy. Try and be conscious of my body. Then I relax. And of course, you have to remember to breathe. Sufis, they function on breath, as does everybody else, yogis. This is not really an asana. But it is a good stretch.
It's kind of impressive.
You can really do this way, going this way, or you can do it this way. Important thing, try and keep this leg straight, and keep your foot pointed in the same direction that your leg is. And then I really just try and stand up straight. Now if I have to go sit 3 or 4 hours in a seminar like this morning with my legs crossed, at least my being knows at one point during the day my leg was truly stretched. Now this leg, when I do it, the thigh cramps. So usually what I do is I put it up here. Let's start this timer. It's not cramping today, so we don't have to deal with that. I'm not complaining. I try and get the leg sock where it meets the hip. I try and send the energy there and lower that buttock. And stay really present. Feel the energy going into the leg. And I often follow that with another work on the legs. I'd like to be able to keep walking on my own power as I get a little older, so these are all preparation. You notice that I use the house for a lot of props. And perhaps it's not pure, I don't know, but it does give me the proper, the proper posture. And a really good stretch. Now I often do this on my own without the wall, but I sometimes use the wall because really make sure I get the right posture, and then my body memorizes it when I don't use the wall. But I have no problem using props. I find them very helpful. And again, I'm focusing on, it's not even really just energy, it's prayer, presence coming into my body. It's almost as if I'm doing my practice in an ocean of God. Switch feet here. By the way, if people do this, you have to make sure you get your bottom right against the wall. I'd be better if I didn't have this molding here. Also, it's raining now, but I like to do some of the asanas outside. Get the full energy of nature. We're here in an area that has powerful nature, even though it's in the middle of the city. I want to get this leg really into the socket. Most people get injured when they come out of a posture, not while they're in it. So I try and come out pretty carefully, honor my body. Are my legs pretty straight above my body, not to the right or left? I don't usually have somebody here to check.
Pretty straight is the word.
Okay.
One is your right side is slightly to the left, and your left side is slightly to the right. Sorry.
That's all right. That's helpful. Now, I don't have time for one more for now. It's probably not fair to people because I'm only doing a few minutes of something that usually takes a lot longer. We have all this lovely equipment. Somebody gave us a gift, but you can do it without. I do it all over the world in hotel rooms and stuff. You can always find some place to hang off of.
This one's 2 minutes. If I wasn't rushing, I'd put a belt around my thighs. And kind of push the balls of my feet this way, so they're not relaxed like that. They're this and that way pushed. Working on bringing the energy into the crown of my head.
Explain again how you push your
My feet.
feet.
Here are my feet straight, kind of, and then I do that. I push the balls of the feet. If this is my feet and these are the two balls of my feet, I push them this way. And that gives much more energy to the whole body. But remember, I'm not a yoga teacher. This is just what I've learned and how I practice. I don't know if it's good for everybody. I have to speak to someone who's a real teacher. I'm just this old guy trying to keep it together. I laugh about that, but I really don't feel old. I feel the energy coming into my body the way it always did. And the secret of real health is to have moments when you go beyond being you, beyond the opposites of sickness and health. Now, the way you get off of this is really critical. Because if you just stand up, it's easy to injure yourself. So you kind of slide this way. And then this way and up. And it's safe.
Getting to this stage of practice, you've had a few injuries, a couple?
One.
One.
And that's in 10 years. And the injury wasn't from yoga. I was hiking in Turkey and I fell and hurt my knee. And it took about 1.5 years to heal that injury. But I continued to do yoga. I just changed the asanas. I was shown different things to do. And it worked, and I haven't had any trouble since. And because of that, when I sat cross-legged, I would support my knees. I would have rolled up blankets and sit up higher. Now I can sit again with my legs crossed properly. So that's very nice. So the last thing I do, which I usually do over there, make it work a little bit, Mohan, is Shavasana. I'm going to do an abbreviated version today. Shavasana is really the reward for doing yoga. You just I'm only going to do 2 minutes. I've never done that short, but why not? You have to roll the shoulders under. I like to have the head a little propped up. Stretch the feet down. Arms relaxed, and you let go. You let gravity take over and pull the body into the earth. I imagine my eyeballs kind of floating down through my brain, settling in the back of my skull. And I just observe my breath. And I can feel the everyday mental processes just being pulled out of me by the gravity pull of the earth. And I've become much more conscious of my breath than I am of my body. Then, when I get to the end of Shavasana, instead of just coming out of it, I always end with a silent experience of prayer. That means I don't pray for, I just experience the state, the presence, and I think about my family, my wife and kids, and my mother, my sister, my extended family, my grandchildren. Actually, I think about my grandchildren when I think about my kids. My grandchildren, in-laws, nieces, nephews, brother-in-law, sister-in-laws. And I think about my friends, real friends for many decades. Then I think about my Marids, the students that I guide all over the world. After that, I bring in spiritual teachers. They've got a hard job, often quite thankless. But we're lucky we have spiritual teachers on this planet. And then I think about myself for a moment. Not just where I'm at or what I want, but where I fit into the cosmos, fulfilling the purpose of my life. Life is short. And finally, I think about our planet. Such a precarious situation, environmentally and spiritually. And with a deep thought of gratefulness, I come out, turn to the right side, push myself up, sit for a moment. Om Hari Om. And I'm done. Want to know the most important part?
Yeah, what's the most important part?
Now I go have coffee.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.